Hi QA folks, in this video I want to talk about HTTP status codes and methods that are important to know as a QA. So first of all, what are those HTTP requests? Basically it's what you can see in network tab in a browser. Whenever you open any web page in a browser, you are getting data using HTTP protocol, HTTP requests. Here you can see different types of requests. This is post, also post. This is status code, response code for the send request, get request, and so on. So what HTTP status codes are important to know? Everything that is 100 are like informational type of response codes, like 100 continue, one-on-one switching protocols. You don't really use them a lot, just for awareness that if it's something starts with 100, then it's informational. Then 200, it's important to know because basically it means that response went well. It can be 200 okay, 201 created, accepted, 204 no content, things like that. So if you are going to automate API tests or test on the API level manually, in most cases you will be expecting and will refine 200 response code or status code. 300, again, just for awareness, it's redirection responses, like 304 not modified, 305 use proxy. 400 and 500, it's also important to know, as well as 200 means that everything went well, 400 and 500 means errors. But the difference between them, that 400 something, it's client-side error. When, for example, JavaScript on your browser site or on your web page in HTML make wrong request, for example, doesn't send correct format of JSON data, something like that. So it's something is wrong on the client side, on the web browser side, on the JavaScript that runs in a browser, on that side of things. Like 400 bad request, for one unauthorized, for example, if there should be authorization headers, then your browser, your client doesn't attach it properly. 4 forbidden, 4 not found. For example, when you type some wrong whatever. So you see, this is means that there is no such data on a server. Basically, it represents 404 response code. Not sure if we can see it here, but anyway, what will be just some kind of blank page displayed in a browser, depending on how your application or platform is handling those. Now, 500 errors means that something is wrong on a server side. Like for 500 internal server error, 502 bad gateway, 503 service unavailable, when some service is done on the server side. It means that when browser sends request, it sends correct data. Nothing is wrong with it because it's not 400 error. But and server accepted the request, but it cannot provide a response because something went wrong on a server side. So in most cases, when you see 500 errors, feel free to log a bug about it. So it basically means something is wrong, some defect is in place. So one more time, most important to remember is 200, everything okay, 400 client-side errors, 500 server-side errors. Now, what HTTP methods are important to know? In most cases, you would need to know 4 main ones: get, post, put, and delete. Get to get some data, returns resource. Post creates a new resource. When you're creating something, for example, you're submitting some form to the server, that some entity should be created on the server side. Then in most cases, or most likely, it will be post request. If you need to update something on the server, you will send in, not you developers will be sending, your application will send in put type of request, HTTP request, and delete when you want to delete something, delete some entity on the server side. So these are for main ones, but there are others as well, like head, option, strings, maybe something else, but these are main 4 to remember. Now, what is it's important to understand the difference between put and post requests. So post is usually used to create new resource on the server side, and put to update it if it exists. If not, then it will create entity. For example, if you will send 2 post requests to this endpoint, then 2 users will be created with name Eugene and ages 7 and 10. So it will create 2 resources, let's say, 2 entities. But if you will send the same with put requests, then only 1 user will be created with age 10. Why? Because first one, it's supposed to create resource if it doesn't exist. And the second, since the resources already exist, meaning this Eugene, it will update its property age to 10. So that's why, that's the difference. Post creates, put updates. And the last point I would like to discuss in this video is what is special about GET requests. Usually in put and post requests, you will send some data in a body in a JSON format, additional data, what to do, which to process. But GET requests are different because usually they do not update anything on the server side. They just asking to return the data, to receive the data, to get the data. That's why they usually do not have a body. They do not send any JSON in the request body. But parameters like that, for example, age or something, they've been passed as a part of the URL in the header of the HTTP request, not in a body. So those are the most important things, in my opinion, to know about HTTP requests in terms of status code and HTTP methods. That's it for this video. See you in the next one.